G'day guys, welcome back to ACL Melbourne. I am Maynard and with me is my good buddy Death, who featured pretty prominently yesterday. How are you feeling this morning?
I'm feeling good, man.
Feeling good? Did you enjoy Barcraft?
I certainly did. It was awesome. Got to meet everyone again and catch up.
It was a bloody good time.
Oh,
great.
yeah.
And I learnt what a Mangelico was.
Had some Chivas and Dry. They didn't have Jamesons.
Chivas and Dry, yeah. Out of Jamesons. Poor form, Pullover Bar. All right, guys, let's get into the game. It has begun. So let's check this out. All right. In the bottom right of Star Station, from XG King, we saw him in the last best of 3. We're seeing him again. This is Poker. And in the top left, from Silicon Sports, someone we haven't seen but yet extremely good Protoss. This is Pezz. All right, man. So this map, I feel Zerg favored.
Yeah.
A lot of open spaces.
A lot of open spaces. All those counterattack opportunities and angles. You can run around, control different watchtowers. You've got a lot of empty open space. Zerg players can even go for mass muta styles, and it's really difficult for Protoss to swing around and defend all the bases, especially once they start taking the 4th base. It's so hard to defend a 4th on Star Station because it's so far away. The 3rd base is very open as well, so while it's really close and connected to the main and the nat, it's still very open and very, very vulnerable.
It is. So it has once you leave that safety net of your natural, you do are in a little bit of a, that the open frontier lands where it's a bit like Zerg territory when they're speeding in. It's started core going down here. Looking very standard for both players so far. We'll probably see a very quick second Nexus pretty shortly. And that's actually, hatch after pull there from Pokerface. Just had to check there and nearly pull a fast one on me. And, yeah. So in the lull period, we'll just say thank you very much.
Got a Zealot coming out, though.
Oh, okay. Zealot first. Interesting. So he's a little worried, do you feel?
It's possible, but he might also be going for some early aggression. So if he wants to go Zealot Stalker and do a little bit of poking, which could actually work out very nicely because Pokerface has gone for the blind hatch first. Oh,
there's hatch after pull.
The hatch after pull.
Yeah. We got a puller back there. I had to check that out as well. I couldn't see it.
Wow.
That pink. Gotta love players that pick pink on that creep. Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Okay, so he's going for a sentry and a mothership core, so he's going to be able to defend his natural very, very easily. Do some poke, get some map control with the mothership core.
Yeah.
Did he cancel the Zealot?
I don't see the Zealot.
Don't see it. It's not moving out on the map. I think he did cancel it.
Yeah,
so it might have just been because he didn't scout.
All right.
He was just being very safe if that Zealot needed to pop out to defend against any early lings.
Ooh. Stargater's
like this.
Doesn't afraid. Out of vision of that Overlord. The Overlord will see it, though, when it comes
Mothership Core's just saying, yeah, Overlord, I can't shoot you, but don't you dare come near me.
Don't you come here, mate. I'll sort you out. You just settle down. That Mothership Core, actually, if we zoom in on that, I will be distracted for the rest of the game because it actually is like a lava lamp. You can't stop staring at it. Especially when you're still waking up like myself.
Yeah. Had your curry for breakfast?
I had curry for breakfast, which was really odd because I had a butter chicken last night, which I nearly made come back up. So it was not the best butter chicken I've ever had in my whole life. So thank you for that curry.
You're welcome.
I feel amazing. Double Evo going down for those upgrades for Pokerface. Do you feel like we're going to be seeing maybe a melee build from Pokerface, a little bit of an old school build?
It
seems like a bit of an old school guy. The games I've seen so far, a bit wingsy.
Yeah, he does play quite wingsy. I don't think I've ever seen him build like a Swarm Host-centric army.
Actually, I haven't seen a Swarm Host yet in ACL. Well, on stream games anyway. And look at that, the melee build. Hold it. There you go.
You did.
So we're going to see some possibly Ling Infester, Wings of Liberty, ZVP style.
I'd say that's exactly what we're going to see.
I'm glad you approve.
Yeah.
This is why we're friends.
I think Pokerface will probably move out to take his 3rd very soon, and Phoenix coming out.
That 4 Overlord. Zap in the ass until it's dead. It's gone.
So I think Pokerface really wants to probably build a few extra queens before lair.
Yeah,
maybe make some more queens, get some spores, and then start the lair. Yep. Because he'll want to get that 2-2 started basically ASAP.
Absolutely. Speed on the way down for the Lings. Bit of a supply block here, a little bit annoying, but he had already a couple of overlords in production, so it's not too big of a deal.
That is actually such a fast 1-1 when I think about it.
Yeah, from
it's
Pokerface,
not even
absolutely.
7:30 and his 1-1 is halfway done. And the layer starts. This is fantastic.
Yeah. It actually even looks like it's going to be a very aggressive melee build. Like he's going to actually put the hurt to Protoss, which is hard because as a melee build, it's tough to deal with walls and stuff like that, and force fields, which is exactly what Protoss have in their arsenal to handle stuff on the ground. So.
Well, Pezz just isn't going to be able to take a third when you think about it, because all the lings that are going to be coming out will be able to deny any third phase. Nice little pick up there. That hurts quite a lot getting that queen. So,
she just lives. There's enough for a pick up there. One more Graviton. Oh, God, that's disgusting. All right, so the Phoenixes do get in the main for a little bit of a look here. They do see the lair, see the double Evo as well. This is a great scout here from these Phoenixes, and the harassment as well. 2 ticks in 2 boxes there for Pezz. And I haven't actually seen Pezz play since ACL Melbourne last year, so this is well, I've seen him online, but not in the ZVP.
This is a really neat little Phoenix
Phoenixes
opening.
are really annoying for Zergs.
So he just goes up to 5, which is the number that you basically want to get map control and help you out in the early stages of the game. Now he's transitioning, getting his upgrades, and adding on a Twilight Council, Robotics Bay, and all the techs.
Yeah, pretty much everything. So Colossus Den on the way, along with Gateway, already has a Stargate and a Robo. So,
God. So many overlords.
Wow.
He's doing so much damage with this
How many have
aggression.
he got in production? Is he making a... Yeah, he's making 4 overlords now. So he's actually supply blocked really heavily right now.
Yeah, like before I was saying that Pokerface wanted to probably get some extra queens and then go for the lair, but he just wasn't thinking. He wasn't like he saw the Phoenix kill his overlord, but he never made another queen. He just made 1 spore. It's just not enough.
Yeah,
he's really getting punished.
Oh my God! And another queen. This is devastating for Pokerface. Picking up these queens is just cutting into his production, and the drones cutting. Obviously losing drones as well. It's been really devastating, and he hasn't lost any Phoenixes yet.
The one good thing that Pokerface has going for him is those upgrades. So he's got +2 melee about halfway done, and +2 Carapace has started. And as well as this, you have to consider the fact that Pokerface does have a third. He will be able to saturate it now. He's building a round of drones. And Pezz can't really expand until he's got Colossus. But the Colossus is halfway done.
Yeah.
Thermal Lance is on the way as well. +2 ground weapons for Protoss will be able to be chrono boosted out.
That's right. And Colossus is the go-to unit, especially with those Phoenixes to help as well.
Especially
to kill those
Lings.
Infestors and lock down the Lings, lock down the Infestors. And there might be Banelings, but I don't think we will see Banelings. Probably just Ling Infestor Ultra, I think.
Yeah.
And there's the Hive on the way now.
Is that the Overlord drop upgrade?
Oh, he's gonna get the Nexus. Yes, he will. That's gonna cancel a straight kill there. Nice move from Pokerface. That Overlord is that's a Pathogen Glands.
Oh, Pathogen.
I was like, well, Overlord? What? No, that's the Infestor upgrade. We'll see him round of Infestors pretty shortly, I think. He's got a lot of gas banked up. We'll see actually quite a few Infestors come through.
Hive is going to finish up as well. He'll be able to go straight into that 3-3. So this is basically the Stefano build, back from Wings.
Basically, yeah. And his ZVP was amazing, but you know, Protoss have a few extra tools in their arsenal now. They can recall. They got I don't think we'll see any Oracle, but the Mothership Core definitely plays a huge deal. So the Standard Thermal Lance on the way, just finishing now with Blink as well for the Stalkers.
The third is on the way, but Pokerface immediately takes a 4th.
Yeah, he's actually, considering how much harassment he had to deal with and cop on the chin.
Yeah, he's doing a great job.
Great recovery,
Adrenal Glands straight away. I love this. And the Ultralisk then.
Wow. He's actually hasn't even made any Infestors yet.
He hasn't needed to because he's got the map control. He's got control of the watchtowers. He can see that Pezz is going for that third, so there's no real rush to go for those Infestors. He can just pump all of his gas into Ultralisks.
Yep, +3 on the way for the melee. And I think the armor might be, well, the armor will follow shortly, of course, but we'll have to wait and see. Ultra Den about to finish, Ultra Kevin about to finish here. And so many hatcheries going up.
So much gas.
Look at all the expanding that he's doing.
He's got 1,200 gas.
Oh, this is a nice spot for these Lings. He's going to hold position on that long distance mining. I love this.
Nice.
Nice. +3 on the way for Pezz, and that's when Protoss gets really scary.
But he doesn't have any armor upgrades.
Yeah,
so
true.
think about Adrenal Glands on those Lings as well as Ultralisks.
Yeah,
going to work on Protoss units that do not have any armor.
I mean, he is producing Immortals, which is obviously extremely helpful, 2 at a time. making a lot of Immortals, actually.
He's going to have great force fields and fantastic Colossus positioning, because if the Immortals become vulnerable to the Lings just chew through them, and especially with upgrades.
Yeah, their DPS is actually insane with Adrenaline +3.
And especially when you consider that they don't activate the hardened shields, so they just power straight through.
That's right. It's like the Marines and Zerglings have that same sort of low damage, but like fast low damage, fast hitting. So yeah, exactly. They are very, very good at destroying those Immortals. And so for the rest of the ball of Protoss, we have the Ultras, and they are popping up right now for PokerFace.
All those upgrades are going to be able to be finished. Spire's on the way, so he'll be able to get Corruptors, potentially transition into Broodlords later on in the game. And he's on 5 base. Look at all that gas income.
Yeah, man. Oh, it's like you said, he saw that third Nexus and he just went, okay, I'm going to take 2 expansions.
Yeah.
And went from three bases to 5 bases, almost in the,
Pezz has only moved across this side of the map with Phoenixes, and they're getting taken out.
Free catching those Phoenixes there. Oh, will take them out. Actually, Pezz not microing them at all, just letting them die. He's getting Storm for the High Templar, which is interesting, so that's going to be handy for the Lings, not so much for much else, but I would have thought he would prefer Archons.
Pezz does have a scary army.
Yeah, man, it's going to be very heavy hitting. Those Immortals are going to be doing 60-odd damage with that +3 against every Ultra, so every shot. And I wonder how many Immortals he's up to now. He's been non-stop producing them. 7 Immortals.
I feel like he needs to make something happen, though. He can't just sit there until max. I feel like he's falling a bit too far behind, because he's only been able to do some aggression with the Phoenix. And since then, there just hasn't been anything. So PokerFace, he's now taking his 6th base, and that will just be for gas. He doesn't even need to mine minerals from it. He's not mining minerals from one of his 5th base.
My God. 11 Ultras on the field right now, 5 Pezz as well.
91 drones. Whoa. And as the game progresses, he'll be able to make those into static defense, because he won't need so many minerals. He's getting such a good bank. He can attack right now and just remax on Ultras.
And he's actually getting upgrades for ranged and air as well.
He's getting everything.
Just in case he needs to make the transition, he already has upgrades in place to make them a little bit more effective. And why not? It's not a big investment at this stage of the game. It's only 100-100.
His economy is so far out of control.
Ooh.
He can literally go into basically whatever unit composition he wants.
He hasn't made any spores, and we do have DTs on the way for Pezz here with the Dark Shrine going down. But, you know, it's a good way in the late game to sort of catch a guy unawares if he hasn't made detection. But it's sort of a, you know, gotcha thing rather than, you know, being outplayed.
Pezz now taking a nice 4th base. He definitely needs to take that 4th. He needs to... Oh.
There's a lot of Ultras here.
He needs to not take damage.
Yeah. It's a good thing that his army is in a decent enough position to be able to defend if he needs to go back to that 3rd Nexus. PokerFace is just looking for an opening here, and I think you're right, man. He's maxed and he needs to do something. Like, he can't just sit here. I mean, I like that he's making static defense and resupplying with units, but other than that, he's got to start putting some hurt on the Pezz, because a max Protoss army generally beats a max Zerg army. Generally. I mean, this is a really good composition for Poker. I don't know.
I feel like
I need to see the engagement.
Pezz probably would like to have some, maybe Void Rays? Maybe we'll see him start producing out of that Stargate the longer the game goes, but he's got a really nice composition now.
It's potentially a lost Colossus here. It looks like he might have lost that Colossus. Yes, it does go down. That's a nice pick up there for PokerFace. And getting up some pylons as well. The Ultras don't want to get too fresh here. The Immortals coming up the back. Needs to stay clear of those Immortals. And,
the Archon's doing the plus damage to Massive.
That's right.
The Templar coming up the back. The Colossus going to work. All that splash damage. The Immortals are so huge.
Oh my God, the Immortals are the size of Texas, man. They are destroying these Ultras. They just evaporated. And the Immortals are all still alive.
Oh my God. PokerFace plummeted down to 110 supply and instantly remaxed up to 200. That was insane. I think that one Ling might actually... The Lings are counterattacking into the 4th base.
And
they get
it. Oh my God. It was one Ling munching on that one Nexus, and down it went with a big reinforcement. And all of a sudden, we've got a bunch of Protoss heading through the middle of the map. And PokerFace, as we can see by that unit loss tab, not very cost effective just yet.
Oh no. PokerFace produced a round of mutas.
Uh-oh. There's a lot of Stalkers here, and Archons, and Storm. That's an odd decision from PokerFace. But, and as a result, he's going to lose his hatchery.
Oh my God.
Oh, jeez. How many mutas is that?
Wow.
That's 44 mutas. Goodness gracious. But that said, though, a lot of Stalkers, a lot of Storms, but they're not in position.
It's going to be a base race, Maynard.
Oh my god, base race! And Pezz is being killed on the reinforcement here. One fungal going down just to lock him in for a little bit. Not really going to help him too much.
Pokerface queuing up all his mutas on those pylons, shutting down the production of Pezz. Pezz is still mining from 2 bases, though. Pokerface is absolutely going to work on that main.
Yeah.
He needs to kill all the production and swing around and actually get something happening. And he needs to bring the fight to that Protoss army. He can't base race in this situation.
He's going to try, man. I think he feels he has to at this point. I mean, he's already committed to this base race. He has no choice. I mean, the good thing for him is that he has that base in the top right, so he kind of has something out in the middle of nowhere. But he's losing a lot of drones here, and obviously all the infrastructure going down as well. And Pezz is nice and clumped up tight. He hasn't got anything proxy just yet. But there's I think there's a drone transfer, a probe transfer heading out to the north here for Pezz. Yeah, there it is.
He's so low on money, though. Pezz isn't mining any minerals. He can only afford 1 cannon.
That's right.
Or he could actually warp in a bunch of High Templar right now. He could warp in 5, almost 6 High Templar, make them into Archons. See what he wants
there's
to do.
The probes here.
Here's
Mutas
the
do find
Stalkers,
them.
though.
Yeah, he can't engage that. I'm not sure where he is.
Yeah, the mutas are isolated. They're in 2 clumps now.
6 spine crawlers going down on that base in the top right, and also that third, just to delay this army a little bit more. It is very heavy hitting, though. That many Immortals don't afraid of spine crawlers.
Certainly don't. They're only being tickled. They
Yeah.
just power through, just 1 punch.
They are ruffle stomping this right now.
The thing is that if the mutas wanted to come back and kill that main Protoss army...
Ooh! Catching an Archon and a couple Stalkers out here. Nice, shaving little bits off of Pezz's army. This is going to help out Poker.
So many Mutalisks.
And that's the guy who's helping out right now.
It's the face of a stone cold killer.
That's right, man. So that's a dead Nexus right there. And Pezz, I think he's about to be revealed.
He is.
A little bit of a sigh there. He's not feeling very good.
He can't afford to reproduce the Nexus.
No, he can't. So he's going to be revealed here, which is obviously very terrible in a base race.
The mutas will actually be able to walk around, pick off every single structure from Protoss. Pezz doesn't have any more blink. He's got like 2 Stalkers.
How's his anti-air here? It's just Storm,
It's just Storm and 2 Stalkers. There's too many mutas.
It is too many mutas. I think that Pezz has actually lost the space race, and there's the GG. In fact, he has.
Wow.
Pokerface taking a game 1 there, and we actually thought that the Protoss in that situation was in a much better position, but
yeah,
goes to show. This is StarCraft, guys. It's a crazy game. Crazy stuff happens.
Pokerface played that really nicely.
He did. I didn't expect him to go make 50 mutas.
Yeah, I feel like Pezz probably should have moved his whole army back and defended one of the bases. Maybe left some TTs out in the map, do some more harassment, but he needed to establish another base, sit on that base, and manage to get enough anti-air to counter the Mutalisks. But in that case, he moved his Stalkers back, and there just wasn't enough.
Yeah. So, as we heard there, the countdown has begun for game number 2. Very excited. Looks like we're going to have Neoplanet S as our next map, which I think is a really good map for Protoss. Lots of chokes.
It's pretty good. But it's also quite good for Zerg.
Yeah,
Lots of different options.
Because there's a big donut in the middle of the map, as we can see in the load screen right now. There's a lot of different counterattack paths. Army goes through one way, you go through the other way. There's that third that you can run through.
I'm actually going to miss this map because it's being removed from the ladder pool next season.
You're kidding me. That makes me sad, because it's actually a really good TVZ map. I like it a lot.
I've seen some of my favorite games in this map.
Yeah. Anyway, let's introduce the players in the top right here. Currently down 1 game from Silicon Sports. This is Pezz. Also from Clan Tor as well. Got to give a shout out to those guys. Big representation of Tor here at the ACL in Melbourne. So very, very nice. And the bottom left here from XG King. This is Pokerface. Upper map, he's been feeling pretty good, considering he got backhanded a little bit by Goz on that TVZ downstairs, if you caught much of that game.
Yeah, I was watching that with Glee. I love watching Igers' TVZ.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's pretty immaculate.
It's so high level.
Yeah.
I'd love to see Igers manage to make it across to a GSL. Qualify.
I would love to see it, man. He's got to start winning smaller tournaments, though. Let's see if he can start with the ACL in Melbourne. In fact, I'd like to. I could fully see people like Pezz and Pokerface winning this tournament as well. They're actually very, very. They're very high level. Pokerface still a little bit old school, but as we can see, does have the potential to to pull off wins against a very practiced Heart of the Swarm Protoss.
Anything can happen on the day against anyone. And
Anything
these players
anyone.
have proved it time and time again.
And all day yesterday, we saw Open Bracket Heroes, like that game between Malice and Moonblade. I keep bringing it up.
Yeah.
That's Moonblade, guys. He's not meant to lose to people that you would, harshly refer to as a no-name, inverted commas.
And ours taking out King Kong.
Yeah, that's right. Huge.
Just ridiculous.
Absolute redonks.
Yeah. The Star Tail Zerg that comes to Australia just to study, but also to beat us all and take all our esports
and
dollars.
Eat lots of Hungry Jacks. I think he's spending all his ACL dollars on Hungry Jacks right now. King Kong loves that place. I don't know what he sees in it, but okay. Maybe the food's not so great in Korea, but I thought Korean food was really nice. Anyway. So we got a scout here from both players. Pretty standard, like gasless opening here from Pokerface. Hasn't made his pull yet. Oh, he's actually gone hatch first. He's going proxy hatch. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Good observing here from Pezz. Shout out to shout out to him, by the way. And of course, shout out to Doble as well. Got to keep giving love to the production because they are giving us, making us, a little bit of a more comfortable situation for the casters, which is always nice.
I love this build. This is something that Zerg players have been doing against Terrans that go for CC first as well. Because you just delay that expansion for so long while establishing your own infrastructure that 300 minerals or 350 minerals and some lost mining time that he has invested in this is going to pay off dividends.
Absolutely, positively. You're completely right, man. So this is got to be some spine pushing, some queens, bit of creep spread. So all sorts of good business, and a little bit of an odd build. Still not very prevalent, I would say. Like not too many people do this, but it's nice. I like it.
It's really good. I think like behind this, Pezz went straight for extra gateways. He's not saving up the minerals to instantly expand again, but the expansion is going to be so heavily delayed. He's going for a robo. Maybe we'll see some sort of one-phase shenanigans.
Yeah,
it can actually work.
Absolutely,
because of that investment. Yeah,
he's not going to have units. He's just spent 300 minerals in a hatchery. It doesn't look like he's actually going to use it.
Might be going for a third as well. What's that doing? It's just a link.
Just a link.
It's just a link.
Just a link.
Looking on that mini map.
It's very dramatic. All right. We got this hatchery is going to go down, so it's just delaying the Nexus now. The creep spread's going to be a little bit annoying as well. It's actually going to delay the Nexus so much, he might as well just take it somewhere else.
Well, the thing is, if a Zerg gets pylon blocked or pylon cannon blocked in his natural...
Force field the road legs. There we go.
Nice. Yeah, if a Zerg gets blocked, then he can just go off to the third base and put it down there. But when a Protoss gets blocked, you can't do that. You just can't go off to the third and make your natural there because Zerg will just bully you around all game.
It's actually cue the Mothership Core to attack all those lava. It's going to be there for a long time, man.
Doesn't he?
Dat armor. It's actually regenerating faster than it's dying. Oh no, it will die eventually, but jeez. The creep will just kill it as soon as the creep spreads away. That's lava.
They have something like 10 armor, don't they?
Something like that, yeah. It's ridiculous. It was the same in Brood War. The lava just lasted forever. Could never kill it. Even if you had
kill it with Reavers.
Yeah, you could.
The Scarabs.
Scarabs.
Oh, look at this Warp Prism.
Yeah.
How much vision do those Scarabs get?
How much what?
Vision.
Vision?
Yeah, look.
Not much.
A little bit. So they did not see the Warp Prism fly by.
Which is good, because as we saw, Pezz did make a lot of production on one base, so could definitely potentially get aggressive here. And with the Warp Prism,
Roach Warren and Spinecrawler is going down now, though. Pokerface is playing this beautifully.
Yeah,
the problem is, though, the Warp Prism will be able to elevate her up into the main if Pezz so desires.
That's right. Absolutely, man. And he will desire,
and
but he might actually fly straight pistol on Overlord. Oh, he's going to take the... He is going to take the path. Nice juke. Very nice.
And the Stalker coming out. The Overlord might actually get into the natural. If I was Pezz, I would let the Overlord get in and scout that Nexus, but he just wants to make sure that...
Looks like you guys are different people. Which is fine. It's absolutely fine. If everybody was the same...
It'd be a boring world.
It would be a boring world. A lot of Queens coming in here. They could potentially snipe this Warp Prism before it drops. Oh, it's a lot of Queens in the main. That's not what Pezz was expecting.
Deflected.
Absolutely deflected, man. That's one high energy sentry down. Nearly all four of them.
At the same time, think about what Pokerface has invested into defense. He's got a lot of queens. He's got a lot of static defense at the front.
It's a lot of minerals.
And he invested that 300 minerals into the hatchery at the start. So the game, it's not too uneven right now. I think that Pokerface definitely has the lead, but he hasn't started any upgrades like we saw last game.
Yeah,
and he's going for that lair. So maybe he wants to control the mid game with some muters.
He didn't need the fast upgrades in that last game there because they didn't actually fight until everyone had 3-3. So that was, but that's a little bit funny. But anyway, it's good to have in the early game anyway. So it makes you a little bit more prepared if there is indeed an attack, which Pezz used to do. You know, Pezz back in the day used to be the 2-base all-in guy. He would, you know.
Yep.
It was a bit of a moniker that he had where you knew as a Zerg that he'd make 2 Nexuses and then just Immortal Sentry you or +2 Blink Stalker. That's what he used to do whenever I saw him play ZVP. But you know what?
Same in TVP as well.
Yeah.
Slightly different builds, but...
A lot of active creep tumors here. Pokerface is actually just like his XG King brother King Kong from StarTale. Really favors that creep spread. Does a good job. And with that APM, why not? You got the spare APM to put on the creep spread, then by all means, because it's going to help you in the long run.
Ooh, this is going to be a really strong attack. All those sentries and immortals.
The head tackles coming out here for the creep tumors. Taken out one by one.
I don't think Pokerface actually has an army.
No, he has Queens and Spinecrawlers.
He only has 7 roaches, Maynard. He's so unprepared.
Oh my god, yeah. And this is that 2-base Pezz that we used to see back in the day.
And why not?
Why not? It's actually going to work. It completely looks like it's going to work, man. Time Warp going down, a couple queens to the back. Transfuse is going down. He does have a bit of energy on his queens. They've been alive for a long time. But the Protoss army largely untouched. The Mothership Core got tickled a little bit. The Warp Prism is still a little bit damaged. But so far, he hasn't lost anything. Going through here, the Guardian Shield going up for the Roaches. A lot of links coming down. Force Field's blocking out a couple of queens in the engagement. But it just looks like too much Protoss still.
It's way too much Protoss. He's just crashing through. Pezz has done it. I think he's just broken Pokerface. What? He's got 12 Hydras though in production.
Yeah, one does not simply beat this with Queens and Lings. He's got 2 or 3 Hydras, but they're just not enough. He's not at that critical mass. But 11, like you said, 11 in production here.
They're going to be popping out at the front.
If he loses his hatchery, it's going to be very, very hard for him to recover. Getting that Mothership Core was nice. If he can take this army out, Pokerface will be in a great spot, but it is still very, very, very strong and in a great spot to handle reinforcements as well. I think the hatchery is going to fall.
Those hero immortals.
Sentries are starting to dwindle, losing that crowd control that the sentries offer. Transfusion on the hatch, recognizes that he can't lose it, but I think he's going to, does go down. The Immortals snipe it, and the Hydra's back here trying to get the Warp Prism, but the Zealots have warped in. It's a little bit too late here, I feel.
Yeah, those Zealots will be able to clean up the rest of Pokerface's forces, and then Pezz has done it.
He's done
GG.
it. Done it. 1-0. Sigh of relief there from Pezz. Is a little bit... I think he's a little bit on edge. He feels not too comfortable. Like, you remember, you used to see players like Mafia and obviously Igers as well. Very calm demeanor. You don't see their emotion in game, but it's a little bit obvious for Pezz that he was breathing a big sigh of relief after that one.
Especially after such a... Thanks, Phil.
That's Pezz's meter face, guys. Just in case you were wondering.
No, but especially after having such a strange... hatch block, sort of throwing you off what you wanted to do in that game. Pezz really played that nicely, got the Nexus up, went for that fantastic timing attack, and it just worked. Absolutely,
man. He had so many immortal sentries. Beautiful engagement. The Warp Prism stayed alive for a lot longer than Pokerface wanted. Got his. I mean, actually, if he killed that Warp Prism and the Zealots didn't get warped in, and there was a split second that those Zealots just made it. If he killed that and all the Zealots just disappeared,
I feel like
he actually might have held that. I think he would have still lost the hatch.
I think well, the hatch was already dead by that stage, but I think that Pezz had won the game regardless. Yeah,
you're probably right, man. I mean, losing that hatchery, you're down to 2 bases, and the Protoss has had his 2 Nexus for a while, so it's an uncomfortable position to say the least.
And we'll be going into Game 3. The loading screen is up, Maynard.
And the rock and roll is being played as well for the stream. Belcher Vestige will be our next battleground for game number 3. And let's do it. Get into the game, guys. That's you, Doble. There we go. In the bottom right. Whip, 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 whip. DJ and Fezza bringing you from Team Silicon Sports. This is Toro Pezz. And in the top left from XG King, give it up for Pokerface. So we've got a tied series now, man.
You do indeed.
We've got a ball game. This last map does count.
Love that music.
You know, that music. Who do you think's the cold hard bitch in this? Out of these two players, which one is which? Oh, I think it might be Pezz.
I think it might be.
Yeah, he's got focus on now.
Would not want to get
He's
into a fight with
he's
him.
either really focused or really tired. Can't tell.
Maybe a bit of both.
Maybe. All right. So do you feel like we're going to see? Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Gateway expand with that pylon there.
Yep,
So.
100%. He's Gateway expanding. What does Pokerface want to do?
I think Hatch firsting on this map is borderline silly.
Yeah, but at the same time, I feel like Pokerface has had the ability to scout out Pezz's builds. So he knows that Pezz loves to go Gateway expand.
Yeah.
And you can actually hatch first against Gateway expand because there's no threat of cannons.
No.
And it's just going to be a pull.
A pull first, sorry. There we go. Much love to Plantronics. Actually, Gamecom, there's 2 Gamecom-sponsored tourneys right now, 2 Gamecom-sponsored teams, or rather NV here, just showing up, representing, obviously, you're here as well from Gamecom NV. So those Plantronics guys, man.
They're pretty good.
They're really just...
It's all about the Plantronics.
It's the esports brand, man. They are doing so much work for us. And, of course, BenQ supplying all the monitors, again, just like their effort at ACL Brisbane, which is freaking amazing. All right, there's the second hatchery there. Very standard timings for both players, and the Gateway expand will be happening for Pezz as well, so a bit of a lull in the action. So, and while we're having a lull in the action, let's talk about Barcraft last night. Did you enjoy yourself? Was it very happy? Were you happy to see MMA? Spoilers, by the way, guys. We talked about it last night. So SC2. Were you very happy with MMA's run against Hasselhoff? Or would you rather that the foreigner beat the Korean in that situation?
Come on, it's MMA.
MMA all the way.
I would have been cut if MMA had lost that. Then there were times where I thought that MMA would have lost like pretty much every game that he won.
Yeah.
He just played phenomenally.
Yeah.
It was so precise. And well, I mean, the thing again is he's had so long now just to practice TVP. Looking at that bracket,
yeah,
he just had to practice one matchup.
TVP. I mean, yeah. And now that Vortex is again spoilers. Now that Vortex is gone, he's got nothing but Protoss to deal with now in the round of 4. So. Fun times for WCS Europe, getting into those regionals. So, yeah.
Awesome production.
Yeah, man. Oh, so good.
Love the casting as well.
It's so, the European StarCraft scene is so passionate. It's like our Australian StarCraft scene is actually very passionate and growing steadily as well. But
very grassroots.
But, yeah, very grassroots. And Europe, I feel, is very established now. It's starting to really kick into gear.
Really promising.
Yeah. It's beautiful. So, we've got a lot of drones being transferred there. Not much to say.
Being main-hearted.
Being main-hearted, absolutely. That's main-hearted without an E, like the Brood War guy. It was not me. And we got the speed on the way, so... I
swear you get that question like every time you cast.
I'm actually thinking that I might make it like part of my Twitch name to be Maynard, not the Brood War guy, as like a full name, one word.
Maynard, not your drones.
Yeah, not the drones, different guy, Australian caster. That's okay. I'm used to it now. The heartbreaking thing was when I talked to David Kim, and I was like, hey, man, I'm Maynard. He's like, oh, I know you, man. I'm like, oh, cool, you've seen my cast. Oh, no, you're the Brood War guy. I'm like, oh. Damn it, David Kim. Damn it, David Kim. For the Mothership Core and for that comment. Damn it. Just kidding, guys. All right. All the Blizzard guys I've met have actually been complete sweethearts. They really are very, very nice, especially the esports guys.
PJ in Australia.
PJ in Australia, shout out to him.
Absolute champ.
Stephen Chang on the world stage. And, of course, David Kim for working really hard and taking a lot of, him and Dustin Browder get a lot of poop.
They bear the weight of the world on their shoulders.
They do, man. They gotta have steel skin and just do their jobs, and they are still. They just do their jobs, man. It's good. Roach is being made here for Pokerface.
He's taking a third, though, so the Roach Warren is really just to defend against any early aggression, because consider the gateway expand into additional gateways that Pokerface has been able to see, and Pokerface has also been able to see the gas, and scouting now, fantastic.
Yeah.
But those Roaches are really there to make sure that he can take a third safely and defend against the aggression that's on the way from Pezz.
Absolutely. Seeing that the chrono boosting the gateways here is actually a little bit of a tell for him. Means that he's got a lot of units to have to deal with, man, and they are being warped in. This third is in a little bit of a spot of bother, and that's not that many legs.
Those are Pezz sentries as well. They're scary.
Means they got good force fields.
Good
Force fields. It's going to be trouble. And he's already moving his static defense up here. Smart. He knows that this third is in
Just needs to bait out some force fields. Bait out the force fields and run away. Good.
Oh, nice. Very nice. The Roaches here, if he gets a good cup on those Roaches with the Zealots right in their faces, like this. If he gets the Zealots up there, the Roaches are in trouble. They can't retreat. Time Warp as well, just for good measure. And this is exactly the engagement that Pezz wants to try and take out the Roaches, but it looks like just too many with this reinforcement. He does have to recall. One Zealot gets left behind. No.
The force fields there actually trapped the Roaches in such a position where the Zealots kind of had to funnel in and they couldn't get the surface area they wanted.
Yeah, they want to be wrapped around the Roaches.
So I feel like Pezz lost way too much there. He should have recalled basically straight away. Losing sentries and Zealots.
I guess he didn't recognize that he was actually in a bad spot there and thought he was in a lot better position than he was.
Definitely. Poker Face, though, played that so nicely, baiting out the force fields and just
This is a lot
controlling.
of Roaches, man. I think we're going to be seeing a counterattack that's of devastating measures.
We may, but I feel like
a lot of drones,
the Mothership Core should have enough energy to put down a Nexus cannon eventually.
Ooh,
50 energy
quite.
away. But by the time the Roaches get up here and actually start attacking, I feel like he's going to have enough to hold. He's got a cannon and
Mortals.
Immortals and sentries. He should be fine.
Yeah, two cannons as well, yeah. He's going to deflect this. In fact, Poker not even going for it. The Overlord saw what it needed to see.
Poker's just been powering drones like a boss.
Yeah.
There was a round of 9, and now there's a round of 11.
That's right, and he's getting up to that worker lead.
And what is that, the Hive?
That is...
Lair?
Lair.
Oh, the Lair.
Yeah. It wouldn't be Hive now. My goodness. That'd be very
I sure
scary.
hope not. A 10 minutes.
Hive.
Better get my glasses checked.
That's a Hydra Den going down. That's just in case you're
prescription.
wondering. Infestation pit going down. Yeah.
He almost made a second Hydra Den and then made an infestation pit instead.
Sweet. Got the melee, the ranged and the carapace upgrades going down for the Zerg units. Roaches and Hydra is going to be a nice unit composition for him until it's Colossus o'clock.
Roach speed on the way.
Yep.
Macro hatch and a 4th.
There's the Colossus Den. +2 as well, being chrono boosted up. So yeah, that attack kind of set Pezz back a bit as we saw his worker count not as good as it would be.
Yeah, he really sacrificed a lot of map control. He can't move out now until he's got Colossus, so that's still another few minutes away. Poker Face has the ability now to power up to a whole bunch of drones, get on 4 bases. A little bit of Roach aggression coming in here. If Pezz can actually force field correctly, though, he can kill all of these Roaches for minimal losses.
In fact, the Roaches will just leave, I feel. It's too many. Oh!
No,
If he can
needs
lock him
another
in.
force field.
Yes,
Nice.
he will lock him in. And he's just going to try and target the sentries, but the Roaches... Oh, he actually
Nice
got one
control.
sentry there. But yeah, nice control there from Pezz.
That's what he
minimal
needed.
losses. That's a great engagement for Pezz there. And also, but not something we have to talk about here, is something that I brought out in the last game, or the last best of 3 with Soundwave when we were casting. Poker Face, a bit of an old school guy, doesn't really do much hot stuff. But we see Locust's upgrade coming down and 4 Swarm Hosts just being made now. So we're going to see some Swarm Hosts
yes.
play. And that's a unit we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, this is such a good map for Swarm Hosts as well because it's so narrow.
Yeah.
And all these chokes, and you can just set up Swarm Hosts and defend, but you can also set up Swarm Hosts aggressively and siege very effectively.
Exactly. And, you know, the Protoss is losing units. Meanwhile, you're only using...
Yeah,
you're losing
free units.
Zealots
nice Warp Prism harass.
Yeah, a bit of Warp Prism harass. A couple Zealots here are getting battered away, but a couple more will definitely help here. There's not that much static defense, only the one Spine Crawler getting a few workers killed. Nice work here from Pezz, getting a couple, I think maybe 4 workers for 4 Zealots, so not so cost efficient, but a little good nevertheless. Didn't pull any units over there, so that's good. Pezz getting in position to do some more Warp Prism harass.
Pezz is doing a great job at just poking around the map, making sure that Poker is not spiraling too far out of control, while Pezz establishes his own economy. As soon as he's got a few more Colossus and that Thermal Lance and +3, as well as Blink.
Yeah.
So he's going to make a lot more Stalkers potentially and move out with a very strong timing on 3 base. He can take a 4th behind it. And against Swarm Hosts, he'll be attacking into fortified positions, but Pezz just needs to make sure that the Swarm Hosts don't manage to venture onto his side of the map.
Yeah, with that Locust upgrade, they just last forever. They get a really long travel distance. But Pezz is already producing the unit that he needs to be able to deal with Swarm Hosts, and that is the Colossus. We've got 2 on the map already, and he has lots of force fields to funnel those Locusts as well. So with an obs, should be just fine. But where is the obs?
Fourth.
Oh, there it is. Okay, it is with the ball. Fourth going down, in position to defend that.
Poker doesn't have enough creep spread. It's for 15 minutes, it's barely anything.
Which is a little odd considering he's generally the guy that puts a lot of effort into that creep spread.
And he's got so much
astronomical
APM.
APM, yeah. Actually, Pezz actually getting up there as well now.
Pezz APM.
And he's Protoss as well, so he must be doing something pretty intensive. I swear, guys, I'll stop talking badly about Protoss eventually. I'm just
you're a Terran player.
Just playing around. Just playing around. That's right. I'm playing TVP and I lose a lot. Just playing around.
The Hive will finish up. Pokerface will be going for 3-3. Yeah. The missile upgrades for those Locusts.
Doesn't look impressed with that.
The Roach Hydra.
So many spike balls here. This is a suicide. These Zealots are so dead.
It's kind of mesmerizing, really.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
The sound effects.
Oh, yeah.
Purple Zealots just going off to Zealot Heaven.
Zealot Heaven. I wonder what Zealot Heaven looks like. It's probably very. It's
like the inside of a mothership core.
They walk back to Aya. I thought they just died. Oh, this Colossus getting caught out here by the Locusts. Bit of miscontrol here from Pezz.
That's a very costly mistake.
Yeah.
He really needs every single Colossus right now.
Absolutely, man. We've got a Viper on the way as well. And Vipers are so
And
good.
Corruptors.
Yeah.
The Colossus deck is going to be shut down before it can really be established. The Void Rays are now coming out, but they're going to be shut down by Vipers and Corruptors. And the Hydra's on the low ground.
That's right.
Because the Vipers will be able to abduct the Void Rays and Colossus into the midst of everything.
Well, Prism does go down. The Corruptors have been shown.
Pokerface has basically countered Pezz's whole army before they're even going to think about engaging.
Look at the supplies, man. Poker's maxed.
I don't know why Pezz is still sending Zealots into die to static defense, though, on the right-hand side.
We were watching Bronze League Heroes last night.
Oh, man.
Remember that guy that just made Zealots against that planetary?
I remember.
This is reminding me of that a little bit. This is just a suicide. I mean, he did get that one drone, but yeah, there's a lot of Zealots and then just going to die to the Spine Crawlers. Void Ray's doing their thing back home. It's just Pezz is just locked down tight. He's turtling here.
And it's fine to do so, especially on 4 bases Protoss. You feel very comfortable when you've got the 4 base of gas. Your units can be very, very cost effective. The frustrating thing for Pezz, though, is he can't really move out. And all he can really hope to do for the next 5-6 minutes is just contain Pokerface to 4 base as well. If he can do that and make sure that Pokerface can't take a 5th, then Pezz will actually start to get in a really fantastic position as he starts to accumulate more Colossus and more Void Rays.
The Locust setting across the map, and I think he might actually start to be in range of that 4th a little bit. Very, he's really locking it down tight, man. This is like just like the Stefano's EVP that we saw in Heart of the Swarm. Getting that lots of static defense, lots of swarm hosts, and then actually making using that extra supply cap to get every tech, and then
Attack Colossus.
Yeah, good unit. Here we go. Swarm host is really good as well. Lots of spine crawlers here. My goodness, that's a lot of spine crawlers.
Yeah, Pezz sees with his observer and he immediately retreats. He's like, nope.
Yeah, nope.jpg. Doesn't want none of that. He's about equal in the worker supply. Lots of lava saved up for Pokerface, and I love this. So that basically he's going to see Pezz's tech switches when he tries to deal with what he's up against, and he can just remax accordingly. Whatever units he loses, he can just change tech.
Which is something that he set himself up for in Game 1 as well, for just...
Yeah, in that base race.
Yeah, he had an army of Ultras and then just made 44 mutas and won the game.
And here's some free swarm hosts for Pezz here.
Oh, that one swarm host survives on like 1 HP.
That's amazing. So yeah, actually there's so much Colossus at the back that are actually burning through this Locust count before it becomes too much of a problem. Of course, the Spine Crawlers are a different issue here.
3-3's about to finish for Pokerface,
though.
Like
this Hydraless counterattack.
Oh, the abduct of the Mothership Core.
Oh, and the Void Ray's being pulled back as well. The Corruptor's starting to pick them apart. The Mothership Core does go down. Void Rays with charge starting to burn through the static defense. And the Colossus burning through the defense as well. Pokerface forced to give up some ground. The Hydra's still on Smoko. But the Void Rays really changing the tide of this battle here.
Does he have an observer? I can't see it. Is it there? Can he see the...
He has no observer.
He doesn't have an observer, Maynard. The swarm host on Burrow.
No, but he's getting all the static defense depth, which is so handy. Oh my god, free Colossus there. Actually, the Hydras are starting to go down, so it wasn't free at all.
The Colossus was actually really cost-effective there. Pezz just needs to warp in a little bit more into his natural. He's got Void Rays. I think Pezz might have done it. He just needs to get another Observer.
Oh, so many Corruptors here. If he cuts into the Void Ray and to the Colossus count, this could be good for him with the Locusts on the ground.
The Locusts are going to spawn and take out all the Colossus.
The Corruptors are starting to burn down. The Void Rays are doing the job. And this looks like it just might be curtains, man. There's a lot of Protoss on the ground. So many Stalkers on the dance floor as well. And GG! Pezz taking a 2-1 victory over Pokerface there, and that kid is pumped. All right,
man.
Yeah, commiserations for Pokerface. It's actually 2 games he's lost so far in groups. So
yeah,
that's not good.
That game could have gone either way.
Absolutely,
that was
man.
So close. Pezz controlled that
Pezz
beautifully. Especially when you consider that he doesn't even have an Observer there. That's so scary, fighting around Swarm Host without an Observer. And he just pushes forward, says, I can win this game.
That's his Void Face.
Void Rays are good units.
Very nice. Very nice. Them skill rays.
Oh, yeah.
So good. It's actually a very, very skilled game there from Pezz. He showed his mastery. It was very, very nice. So I look forward to him. You know, when Light retired, us and a couple of our friends were sort of talking about...
Which time? He's retired 5 times.
Well, when Light retired the last time.
Latest time?
Yeah, the latest time, like a month ago or so. We were talking about who's the next Protoss in line. Who is the one that's closest to him in skill?
I think Pezz has been
I believe,
the word on everyone's lips.
Yep, Pezz is the word, and possibly Mega Fonzie as well. Those 2 guys, the big names for Protoss right now. So... yeah.
Even players like ours and Pro.
Oh, yes. Ours, potentially very good. Malice as well. Very, very good. So we'll see, guys. Only time will tell. Stuff starting to heat up here at ACL Pro in Melbourne. I am Maynard. With me is Death. Stay tuned for more games coming up very shortly.